Hi YouTube, this is Darkon633, and today I'm bringing a review of the Power Rangers Super Megaforce Ninja Zord with 2 Ranger keys. Now, with Dino Charge right on the way, it's pretty cool that we finally got the final Mecha combination for Super Megaforce slash Gokaiger. The Ninja Zord is a pretty interesting take on the character Furaimaru slash the Mini Zord from the series. Now, I was really disappointed with its appearance in the show, but I'm glad that at least the figure is much better than the Japanese release, which you'll see later video for the combinations. But overall, this is a pretty good take, and it's got some pretty unique features as well. Looking at the box, as you can see, we got a very cool Photoshop design of the Ninja Megazord, which looks the nicest out of all the boxes that we got for the Zord build line for this series. And the weird part is, just like with everyone else, the keys were reversed in the wrong spaces for some reason in the way they were packaged. But not really a big deal. On the back it just shows you that it's got multiple forms that you can do, and the other products that are in the line. So I'm really glad I was managed to be able to get this. Unlike the Ghost Jet, which took me quite some time to finally get a hold of, I was finally happy to see that this one didn't take me as long to get, and hopefully the same for Dino Charge if they decided to release Topa Spino over in the States. Hopefully that will be released in an easier way as well. Now the cool part is that, just like its Japanese counterpart, the blade on the back actually does spin. But with this version, obviously they incorporated the keys more into the Mecha, which I do like about this line is that the keys do more for the entire line in its entirety, not just for the more precise changer. Basically what you do is, it doesn't matter which key since it's going to be the same thing, but I decided to use the Ninja Zord one. Plug it into the back, and it spins. And even though this can be kind of annoying at times, it's definitely not as much as a nuisance as the Q-Rex is with his gimmick with the keys, since this is a lot easier to hold on to, and it's a little bit easier to activate, so I do prefer this version overall. Now, I'll be back as we go into the other features of the Zord and the combinations. And we're back. Anyways, the cool part about this Megazord is that it's actually got an alternate form. What you're going to do next is take up the blade. And then, that's pretty much it otherwise, besides taking off this piece here. As you can see here on the back, it's got the Ninja Storm design on one side, and an exclusive for the Mega Winger, which is supposed to represent. Now, what you're going to do is take this panel here, and just plug it onto the front, so that it looks like that. Take this, separate it, so now you got 2 blade pieces. And you're going to plug this onto the back here, using these pegs that are on the back on both sides. Then, once you get that done, you have the exclusive Mega Winger mode. Now, I could see what they're trying to get at. It's actually quite ambitious, but itself on its own doesn't really capture the Mega Winger really at all, besides obviously some components, and has some cues. But other than that, it's pretty much really simplistic formation. But it's still cool that it doesn't affect the transformation anyway. And then once again, just like the Turbo Falcon, they introduced a mode which it just adds more play value to it. Now, we're going to take a look, before we go on to the combinations, we're going to take a look at the 2 keys that came with the set. Now, these keys are no different in terms of electronics than the ones in the key packs, but we're just going to quickly go over it. Then obviously the Ninja Storm key will do the same. For some reason on mine, this one is actually extremely tight, unlike some of the other keys. So it has popped up a few times, so I don't know what is with that. And obviously, so that's pretty cool. That at least gives you more ways to get keys. Now, we're going to take a look at the combinations once I get the Megazords on the screen. One moment, please. And now we're back. So going on for the transformations, the cool part of this is that this figure actually has multiple forms of combinations. Now this one, what you gotta do is obviously just take up the components here and pretty much split this into its individual components. So you just take off all the pieces, and there you have just all the parts on the ground like that. Now for this transformation, this is pretty much just the standard Ninja Zord combination. What you're gonna do is obviously just open up the chest as usual. And the piece popped up, as I mentioned. It would. Served its purpose anyway, so I'll just take it out to the side. Now we have the Megazord, which I have to get onto camera since it's much bigger than the camera itself there. Okay. What you're going to do next is take one of these pieces, pull out one of the components that are on the side here, and then just plug it on. And there you have a portion of the combination. If you can plug in, for some reason it's plugging. Okay, so there. So now you got the Ninja Star itself. This piece will just plug onto the side, which isn't too spectacular, but oh well. And then for this piece, what you're going to do next is make sure that the Ninja Sword side, sorry, Ninja Storm side, plugs onto the piece back here, so it looks like that. And then you just kind of slide it in, and it just holds in by friction. And to finalize the combination, what you're going to do next is pull these pieces up. So now it faces up like this. And then you just plug it on to the head as the helmet. And then take the star, and you're going to slide the handle into his hand. And that completes the standard Ninja Zord combination. Now the Ninja Zord combination is a pretty neat looking combination overall. It definitely does it a lot better to at least fill in the chest component in this mode, unlike the Japanese release where the thing would open up and then it has a huge empty gap right there. So at least now it fills up the combination to its entirety. The only thing I have a little minor nitpick about is that, unlike the one in the show / Gokaiger, he would have ninja blades coming out from the sides on his arms and his legs and all that. However, due to the way that they designed it, only one piece sticks out here, which serves no purpose but to just kind of put the kibble somewhere. And this is pretty much all you get. So, it is a bit disappointing, but makes sense with the limitations of how the design of the actual figure is, so nothing too big there. Articulation-wise, it's pretty much the same. It doesn't really hinder. It slightly hinders thanks to the big head crest piece, so you pretty much can't move it around that much at all without the big shoulders popping the helmet off, so that's unfortunate. But anyways, the cool part though is that this is not the only thing the toy can do. What you can now do is just remove all the components, including the helmet. Take off this piece here. Close it up. Now what you're going to do next is just plug it onto the sides. And there you have a portion of the combination. Now this we're going to take off to the side for now. What we're going to do here is that we're actually going to reverse this piece so that now the Mega Winger / the in space side shows. And we'll just slide it back in, and that's pretty much doesn't change at all. What you're going to do next is pull down these components so that the Zord Builder ports are shown. And these are going to plug onto the back. Put it in a form so that it looks like that. Kind of sits on a weird angle. Both sides. And then what you're going to do is take the helmet, turn around, and make sure that the hands just face like that. And you stick it on the helmet again. There you have the Mega Winger mode. This is very odd mode overall. I could see what they're trying to get at with the Mega Winger attachment on the back, but it's just kind of a really bizarre looking form. The helmet looks really nice, which has a huge reminiscent design of the Mega Winger itself, which I'll now show a little closer on the camera. As you can see, the helmet looks very similar to the Mega Winger, so at least they got that part right. But this mode itself is just kind of a very strange form, especially since the Ninja Zord piece is still attached to the side, so I don't know. I don't know really what Bandai Namco is trying to get at with this form. But other than that, the cool part though is that this has one more function. I'm going to remove just these pieces since nothing else is used in the combination. Just put the Megazord to the side since we no longer need it. And bring the T-Rex over. In the Japanese footage, the T-Rex use the power of the Mega Rangers to attach the Mega Winger attachment to the back. As you can see, I already pre-transformed it so that the longer pegs stick out. This will just plug onto the back as usual on both sides. Make sure that the gray side is facing outwards so that the Ninja design isn't shown on both sides. Now you just pull these to the side a bit, so now they face up. Sometimes it gets a little tricky to plug it in the correct direction. Once you get it done, you have yourself a very awkward but understandable Mega Winger mode. Now this was shown in a promotional shot a long time ago before the Q-Rex got released. So now we see that how exactly where these pieces came from to become the Mega Winger on the back of the design. So overall, it's a really neat Zord, and yeah, I highly recommend it. I'll be back. So in conclusion, this is a very nice Zord. I really like the play features, even though some look kind of questionable in terms of the overall design with the combination. But overall, it's a really nice Zord, and it does well to represent Furaimaru / the Ninja Zord Mini Zord, which sadly got a very weak introduction in the American footage compared to the Japanese footage in Gokaiger. But if you happen to find this, and especially if you collected all the other combination Zords previously, I say this is definitely a big worthwhile pickup. Even if you didn't get the other combinations, I still think this is a really nice Zord to get a hold of, especially if you have, obviously, the Megazord, since you're going to have most of the play value there, and the Q-Rex. So it's got a lot of play value in terms of both Megazords, unlike the other Zords, which didn't really have any features by themselves connecting with the Q-Rex. So in that aspect, this definitely has a lot more play value than the Japanese toy, even though, obviously, as I said before, some just look kind of odd. Anyways, please check out Hero Taku and the associated podcasts such as Hero Talk, Hero News, WRW. Also check out Rajio, Nihon, the other channels down below, and please kindly subscribe, and I'll see you to YouTube. Bye.